Welcome to another edition of Politics and Right. I'm Egberto, Willies, your host. Today we are honored to have Kiddada Grey, who is with Community First Solutions. Kiddada, how are you doing this morning?
Well, how are you?
I am doing just fine.
Good,
I
good,
understand that we have roots in the same region of the world.
Yes, we are Caribbean folks.
We're
family.
Caribbean folks. We're a family. We may be cousins and don't even know it.
For real. Yes, a lot of cousins.
Absolutely so. We've got a lot of cousins. Anyway, tell me a little bit. First of all, what do you do with this organization?
So for this organization, Community First Solutions, I do varying different things. We call ourselves movement consultants because we talk about community organizing in a very different way. We're trying to get people to actually take an action, which is the move portion of it, and get people organized, activated year-round, all the time in the community, not just during election cycles.
Right.
So I'm the executive director. I go around the country talking to different organizations. I also do trainings. Last year we trained in our first year about 144 organizations and about 7,500
So you work with
people.
Organizations, so that means it actually expands out.
It actually expands out. So we will actually go into communities as well and build relationships and facilitate that conversation with organizations. Yes, but we are a social justice organization that is centered on doing the best work in building community for brown and black people.
Now, what are you doing right now specifically for 2024?
Oh, goodness. So for us, we are launching our trainings. So we do a big training series throughout the year. The new thing is that we actually are doing a book club and we're reading the pedagogy of the oppressed. So that way we understand the foundations of why it is that we do what we're supposed to do, right? And so travel schedule is really going into communities, finding brown, black communities that are dealing with social justice issues, including education reform, the injustice about how their children are being treated. Because if you didn't know, black and brown kids are always suspended at the highest levels in schools.
Let me break there for a minute, because a lot of people, when we have organizations that centralize, let's say, on people of color, a lot in the majority community would say, you see, that you're creating some sort of a division. But then again, you pointed out that one of the reasons that has to occur is you take a look at the schools. When it comes to discipline for the schools, who are disciplined for the same offense, who are disciplined more, and on and on and on. Last night, I was listening to Bill Maher, and Bill Maher got into a discussion claiming that things are not really bad for people of color, and he really took offense. I don't know what has happened to Bill Maher over the last several years, and he just couldn't understand why politicians or people like yourself, professionals and others, somehow believe that they're being somehow they're being taken advantage of.
Right.
And your movement, the work that you're doing, has to continue.
Yeah, we thank you for addressing that, because that's important to know. And that division, what they're saying is that what they're really trying to say is that you are calling out the gaps in the system. Right. And so what we do is that we ensure that we have a voice. I want to ensure that black and brown people know how to utilize politics and things like that, so that way they can actually close the gap. Because what we're doing is closing the gap. We're not going to get 100% all the time. It literally is problematic because some people don't want to give up power. The other thing is, historically, we have known that when black and brown people achieve a goal, a policy change, a policy issue change, that guess what? It expands out to everybody.
Exactly.
And that is, we are the purveyors of spreading the joy that we have received. And so whether it's our white counterparts, and let me just say this, I understand what it feels like to be divided, right? To have that thought process around being divided. But I also understand this, because I'm a conflict resolution practitioner. And so when someone doesn't have power, right, they need to actually obtain power. And so black and brown people need to have champions, advocacy organizations, whomever it is, give them access to power so their power grows. So then that way, my power sharing is literally giving you the tools that you need to fight against or fight with. So everything can be better for the entire community. You can't have a portion of the community that's just or well, and you have a sickness on the other side. And that's why I push back, because no matter what I do, it will eventually be for all. But I know who at first is lacking resources and voices.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this is the kind of message that I think has to be said in a manner that even folks in Appalachia can understand.
Yes, yes.
You know, because again, they're the ones who, the work that you do,
right.
They make it seem to those people that the other is trying to take from them. Yeah, and right. The way you just express that is something that they need to hear.
Hopefully they're hearing it. Hopefully. And accepting it.
Hearing and accepting are two different things.
Definitely.
But hearing plus trust equal acceptance.
That's true.
And that's what it's all about. Give me a quick closer.
I'm sorry?
Give me a quick closer.
So let me just say, take care of yourselves.
Right.
And I know that sounds really simple and basic, but we're not doing it. Our health, we cannot be for anybody else if we are not treating ourselves well, right? And I love my Caribbean food. Not all of my Caribbean food is healthy to eat. I'm not giving up my goat meat. I don't care what they say. But we have to be mindful. Practice the mindfulness every day of what it is that we're putting into our systems, because what we put in is what we put out, and there's so much negativity in this space.
Kiddada Grey, thank you so kindly for having spoken to Politics Done Right.
Thank you all.
We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead. Number 1, subscribe to our channel. And number 2, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.